Hello, entrepreneurs. Welcome to our channel. We have chosen to produce an audio podcast to allow you to stay focused and even continue working. Let's dive into the heart of the matter.
Right.
We're here to really dissect what makes SpaceX tick
Yeah.
and see if there are any lessons that entrepreneurs you can steal from their playbook.
Well, what's fascinating about SpaceX is how they've really managed to disrupt the space industry,
Right.
which,
Yeah.
let's face it, has traditionally been dominated by massive government agencies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So to understand SpaceX, I think we really need to understand the mind behind it.
Absolutely.
Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Where do we even begin with this guy?
Well, his early life was pretty eventful.
Okay.
I mean, he was born in South Africa, and after his parents divorced, he chose to live with his father.
Yeah.
But that relationship ended up being pretty strained. They actually became estranged.
Yeah. I read that Musk later said that choosing to live with his dad was a mistake.
Right.
And he's also talked about being bullied quite a bit in school,
Yeah.
even ending up in the hospital at one point.
Wow.
And apparently his father wasn't exactly the most supportive during that time.
It does kind of paint a picture of resilience, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Despite a difficult childhood, he went on to pursue a ton of different passions. I mean, this guy has his hands in everything,
Oh, yeah.
from software to electric cars to, well, rockets.
Okay, so maybe we don't have time to cover all of Musk's ventures today.
Right.
But let's zoom in on SpaceX.
Okay.
What was the initial spark that led him to create a space exploration company?
Well, it goes back to his belief that humanity needs a backup plan,
Mm-hmm.
a way to ensure our survival if something catastrophic were to happen to Earth.
Okay.
And he sees colonizing Mars as the ultimate insurance policy.
Wow, that's thinking long term.
Yeah.
But how do you even begin to tackle something as massive as colonizing Mars?
Well, for Musk, it starts with revolutionizing space travel.
Okay.
He founded SpaceX in 2002 with the mission of making spaceflight more affordable and reliable.
And they actually managed to pull it off.
They did.
They've been shaking things up ever since.
Yeah.
Challenging established players like the United Launch Alliance and driving down the cost of launching payloads into space.
One of their key innovations was developing reusable rockets.
Oh.
The Falcon 9, for example, can land back on Earth after delivering its payload,
Wow.
a feat that was once considered science fiction.
It's like the difference between taking a one-way trip and having a round-trip ticket.
Exactly.
Suddenly, space travel becomes a whole lot more practical and affordable.
Absolutely. This reusability has been a game changer for SpaceX, and it's really put pressure on other companies to innovate and reduce their costs.
Okay, so reusable rockets, driving down costs, challenging the establishment. This is all sounding pretty impressive, but
Yeah.
what about their actual achievements?
Yeah.
What have they actually done in space?
Well, let's see.
Mm-hmm.
They were the first private company to send a spacecraft to the International Space Station,
Wow.
the first to successfully land an orbital rocket,
Okay.
and the first to send humans into orbit on a privately funded spacecraft.
Wait, they sent humans into space.
Yeah!
That's huge.
It is a huge accomplishment, and it marked a turning point
Mm-hmm.
in the commercialization of space travel.
Okay.
They've also developed the Falcon Heavy, which is the most powerful operational rocket in the world, capable of carrying massive payloads into deep space.
I'm starting to see a pattern here.
What's that?
They seem to be aiming for these really big, ambitious goals
Yes.
that most people would think are impossible.
Right, and that ambition is reflected in their other projects, too.
Okay.
Like the Starship, which is designed to be a fully reusable spacecraft, capable of carrying both crew and cargo to Mars and beyond.
Starship, that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
It's that massive rocket they've been testing in Texas, right?
Yes.
The one that had some fiery mishaps during early testing.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay.
They haven't been afraid to experiment and push the boundaries, even if it means things don't always go smoothly at first.
It reminds me of that whole fail fast, fail often philosophy.
Right.
Seems like they're not afraid to take risks and learn from their mistakes.
Absolutely. And that willingness to iterate and adapt
Yeah.
is a key part of their success.
Okay.
They've also been building out their Starlink constellation, which is a network of satellites
Okay.
designed to provide high-speed internet access to even the most remote corners of the globe.
Starlink. Okay, that one I've heard of.
Yeah.
Isn't that the service that's been causing some controversy with astronomers?
Right.
Because the satellites can be seen in the night sky.
Yeah. There have been some concerns about light pollution and space debris, but SpaceX has been working on ways to mitigate those issues.
It seems like with any groundbreaking technology, there are always going to be unexpected challenges and trade-offs.
That's true, and it's important to consider the broader implications of these innovations.
Yeah.
But from a purely entrepreneurial standpoint, SpaceX's achievements are undeniably impressive.
Okay, so we've established that SpaceX is doing some truly remarkable things.
They are.
But what can entrepreneurs who aren't building rockets learn from them?
That's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
Even if you're not launching satellites into space, there are some fundamental principles that SpaceX embodies that can be applied to any business.
All right, let's break it down.
Okay.
What's the first lesson we can take from SpaceX and Elon Musk?
Well, one of the key takeaways is the power of having a bold, ambitious vision. I mean, Musk's vision for SpaceX isn't just about building rockets.
Right.
It's about making humanity a multiplanetary species.
That's a pretty lofty goal.
Yeah.
It seems almost audacious, especially when you consider how difficult it is to simply get a rocket off the ground,
Right.
let alone colonize another planet.
Exactly. But that kind of ambitious vision is what drives innovation and inspires people to achieve extraordinary things. It attracts top talent, motivates teams, and creates a sense of purpose that goes beyond just making a profit.
So you're saying that even if you're not trying to colonize Mars,
Right.
having a big, audacious goal can be a powerful motivator for your business.
Absolutely. Think about it this way.
Okay.
Would you rather work for a company that's just trying to make incremental improvements to an existing product? Or one that's trying to solve a major problem or change the world in some fundamental way?
I think most people would be drawn to the company with the bigger mission,
Yeah.
the one that's trying to make a real difference.
Exactly. And that's what a compelling vision can do for your business. It gives people something to rally around, something to believe in. It helps to attract and retain top talent.
Right.
And it can drive innovation and creativity.
Okay, so having a bold vision is important.
Yeah.
But how do you actually go about achieving it? I mean, SpaceX has had its fair share of setbacks and failures along the way.
That's true. But one of the things that sets SpaceX apart is their willingness to embrace failure as a learning opportunity.
Okay.
They're constantly iterating, experimenting, and refining their designs based on what they learn from their mistakes.
It's like that old saying, fail fast, fail often.
Right.
It seems counterintuitive, but sometimes you have to be willing to break things in order to build something truly groundbreaking.
Exactly. SpaceX doesn't shy away from risk. They know that innovation requires pushing the boundaries and that sometimes things won't go as planned.
But they seem to have a knack for turning those failures into valuable lessons. Remember those early attempts to land the Falcon 9 boosters?
Yeah.
There were some pretty spectacular explosions.
Oh, yeah.
But they kept iterating and refining their approach, and eventually they achieved what many thought was impossible.
That persistence and adaptability are key lessons for any entrepreneur. You're going to encounter challenges and setbacks, but it's how you respond to them that determines your success.
So it's not about avoiding failure altogether,
Right.
but about learning from it and using it to fuel your progress.
Exactly. Another important lesson we can learn from SpaceX is the importance of challenging assumptions and approaching problems from first principles.
First principles, what does that even mean?
It's about breaking down a problem to its most fundamental elements and then building up from there.
Okay.
Instead of accepting conventional wisdom or industry norms, Musk encourages his team to question everything and figure out the most efficient and effective way to achieve their goals.
So it's about thinking outside the box, not being afraid to question the status quo.
Exactly. A great example of this is how Musk approached the issue of rocket fuel costs.
Okay.
Instead of accepting the inflated prices that were standard in the industry,
Right.
he decided to figure out what the raw materials actually cost and find a way to produce the fuel himself. A fraction of the price.
That's pretty impressive. It sounds like he's not afraid to get his hands dirty and really understand the nuts and bolts of the problem.
Right, and that kind of hands-on approach combined with a willingness to challenge assumptions.
Has allowed SpaceX to innovate and disrupt an industry that was traditionally resistant to change.
Okay, so we've got a bold vision, a willingness to embrace failure, and a commitment to first principles thinking.
Yeah.
What other lessons can entrepreneurs take away from the SpaceX playbook?
Well, another key factor in their success has been their focus on building a strong team and fostering a culture of innovation.
Company culture, that's something you hear a lot about these days.
Yeah.
But it can be kind of hard to define what makes SpaceX's culture so unique.
It's a culture that values talent, hard work, and a relentless pursuit of excellence.
Okay.
Musk is known for being incredibly demanding.
Yeah.
But he also empowers his team to take ownership and make decisions.
So it's not about micromanaging every detail.
Not at all. It's about giving people the freedom to experiment, to take risks, and to learn from their mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about creating an environment where everyone is working towards a shared goal.
Okay.
A goal that they truly believe in. That sounds pretty inspiring.
Yeah.
But it also sounds like a pretty intense environment.
It can be, but for the right kind of person.
Yeah.
Someone who thrives on challenge and is passionate about pushing the boundaries.
Right.
It can be an incredibly rewarding experience.
So how can entrepreneurs who aren't building rockets or colonizing Mars apply these lessons about company culture?
Well, it starts with recognizing that your team is your most valuable asset.
Mm-hmm.
You need to attract and retain top talent by creating a culture that values innovation,
Okay.
rewards hard work,
Right.
and provides opportunities for growth.
That makes sense. It's about investing in your people and giving them the tools and the freedom they need to excel.
Exactly. And it's about creating an environment where people feel empowered to speak up,
Mm-hmm.
to share their ideas, and to challenge the status quo.
So even if you're not building rockets, you can still create a culture that fosters innovation and encourages your team to reach for the stars.
Absolutely. It's all about creating the right environment, setting ambitious goals,
Uh-huh.
and empowering your team to achieve extraordinary things.
Okay, so we've talked about bold visions, embracing failure, first principles thinking, and building a strong company culture.
Right.
What else can we learn from SpaceX's incredible journey?
Well, one more lesson that stands out is their relentless focus on efficiency and continuous improvement. SpaceX is known for its incredibly fast development cycles and its ability to constantly iterate and refine its designs.
You know, that reminds me of something I read about their approach to manufacturing.
Yeah.
They do a lot of their production in-house, right?
Yes, they're vertically integrated, meaning they control most of their supply chain and manufacturing processes.
Okay.
This allows them to be more agile and responsive to changes and to constantly optimize their designs and production methods.
So they're not just designing rockets, they're also figuring out the most efficient ways to build them.
Exactly. They're constantly looking for ways to streamline their processes, reduce costs, and improve quality. And that commitment to continuous improvement is reflected in everything they do.
That's a valuable lesson for any business, isn't it?
It is.
Always looking for ways to do things better, faster, and more efficiently. But how do you actually create that kind of culture of continuous improvement?
Well, it starts with setting clear goals and metrics. You need to know what you're trying to achieve and how you're going to measure progress.
Okay.
And then you need to empower your team to experiment,
Right.
to try new things, and to find ways to improve those metrics.
So it's not just about working hard, it's about working smart.
Exactly. It's about finding ways to eliminate waste, streamline processes, and get the most out of your resources. And it's about creating a culture
Yeah.
where everyone is constantly looking for ways to improve, to innovate, and to push the boundaries of what's possible.
You know, thinking about SpaceX's journey, it's really inspiring to see what can be achieved.
Yeah.
When you combine a bold vision with a relentless focus on execution and a willingness to embrace failure as a learning opportunity.
It really is. And even if you're not building rockets or colonizing Mars,
Right.
these principles can be applied to any business, any industry, any goal you're trying to achieve.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into SpaceX and Elon Musk, what's the one key takeaway you want listeners to remember?
I think it's this dream big, work hard, learn from your mistakes, and never stop pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Whether you're starting a business, pursuing a passion, or simply trying to improve your life, the lessons we can learn from SpaceX's journey can help us all achieve extraordinary things.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Thanks.
So what do you think? Did this deep dive into SpaceX spark any ideas for your own entrepreneurial journey?
Yeah,
Head over to the comments section on our YouTube channel
absolutely.
and let us know what resonated with you the most.
Yeah, and while you're there, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss out on future deep dives that will help you shape your entrepreneurial mindset.
Until next time, keep learning, keep innovating, and keep reaching for the stars.
See you in the next deep dive.